Hey. No, wrong way. This way. I think it's that one. No, wrong way. Hold on. That way. I don't know what's happening here. As you can see, I'm very hot, guys. I'm very flustered. But, you know, it is live, so there's nothing I can do about it. But I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Tuesdays are my request evening. Thursdays are stories I like to bring to you. I'm also on TikTok. So it's Jess Rose 5472 over there, and then patreon.com/Jess Rose 5472. It is a live, but once I start the story, I don't stop. I don't start swapping and changing. So I just wait for a couple of the guys to join, and then I'll start the story. Or it does get uploaded onto my pre-recorded videos at the weekend. So whatever you choose to do, I'll appreciate any of it. So let me just say a quick hi to the guys in the live, and then we'll start. Hey sis, how are you? A little bit hot. A little bit hot I am. A little bit flustered I am. I'm starting to calm down now, but oh my goodness, it is so warm. And I'm burnt. You can't see because I've covered it in makeup, but this is very red under here. Probably still looks quite red, but it's really red under here. The crab stick is back. She's back with a vengeance. But I tried to cover her up with a bit of makeup. It's so warm. It's beautiful. I am moaning. I'm not going to moan. I'm not moaning. But it is very warm. It is. I've asked for it, and it's here. Oh, God, what have I done there? Now I have a red mark. Marvellous. It's looking good to know it. Hey, Philly's back. How are you? We missed you. How was your barbecue the other day? You had the weather for it. Was it good stuff? I haven't had a barbecue in such a long time. I was very jealous the other day. But how are you? Oh, tell us what you do in the weekend, guys. Fill us in on your weekends. I don't know what's... I'm moaning. It's too damn hot. It's so warm. You've got a breeze up there. It's just dead heat here. It really is. We can't just have normal heat like normal countries, can we? We're either like on a furnace or we have to wear 6 layers. It's just there's no happy medium. Oh, was it lovely, Phil? That's fabulous, that is. I've got to admit, yeah, I haven't had a barbecue in a long time. Might have to do one this year. Oh, is there no breeze today? Oh, it's frightening. Although the kids' schools, although Scarlett's got a summer uniform anyway, but Lawson's, they let them wear the PE kits today, which was good of them because honestly, they have to wear blazers and all sorts, so they let them wear their PE kits today, which I thought was quite nice. I don't think many schools have done that, so they're allowed to wear it today and tomorrow. Working on Saturday for me. Oh, he looks excited. It's killing me. I'm in a foul mood. Did you sniff anything good, Phil? Why would he be sniffing stuff? From his barbecue, you mean? Or is that like a previous conversation? Stop leaving me out of your conversations, guys. I had some on my screen in case you're wondering what I was doing there. I was trying to blow it off. Stop leaving me out of your clique. I feel like I'm out of the clique all the time. Because he can't... Oh... Oh, it started a little bit early there. Phil C, I don't know what they're on about. I'm not mean like them. I don't know what they're talking about half the time. No. What's the no? Why is he saying no? Short and sweet. Why is there a short and sweet no? What's he knowing me at? What did I say? He said, oh, only the barbecue food worry. Oh, because I said, have I missed it? Right, I got it. I caught up. I've caught up. It's my last night for 2 weeks tonight, everyone. Because Phil is in the knicker drawer. Why is he in the knicker drawer? Leave him alone. Jessica will be in tonight, Phil, because she, this is kind of one of her requests. I know it's not request night. I know it's not. But she's been asking me to do stories for the past couple of months probably now. So I thought I'd do this one for her. She has mentioned this quite a few times. So I thought, do you know what? We'll do that. But she did. I only saw the message as I was going live, and she did say she'll be in tonight. So I feel like my eyes are swelling as well from the sun, which is great. It's always a good look. Normally only happens when I'm around sun and water, but it looks like they're starting to catch it from the sun earlier. Can you see? Do I look like a bronze goddess? I feel like I do. I'm like a bronze goddess here. Just letting you know. Shh. You're giving away his secrets, Tiffany. You're giving away all his secrets. Well, thank you for joining last night, Warwick. That was very appreciated on my first live over there. That was very appreciated. It was good stuff. I was cringing all day because I was like, oh, God, it was so bad. But, you know, you got to start somewhere. I was cringing after the first live here. So, you know, it's just how it goes. It's just how it goes. But I was going to say something there. Yes, I'm off to... Oh, thank you. You're so sweet, but I don't think so. Hope there's no... I know. Kept on appearing, and I didn't know. I didn't know who it was until she announced it. What's going on? Yes, because I'm in Lanzarote on the Tuesday. I'm very happy. I'm very excited. I'm off to Lanzarote. I'm sorry. I'm so excited. I really am. It's been a really long year, so I'm very excited. I just wish the moderator, the siren, was coming with us. But maybe next year she can join. But I'm very excited, as you can hear. So yes, so this is my last one with you for 2 weeks. I haven't written down the date again, so I can't tell you when I'm back. But it's 2 weeks on. Absolutely not. I'll probably be in Jessica's story soon. You'll know why after last night. What I was going to say, it's 2 weeks on Tuesday. I'll be back. So whatever the date is then. So it's the 24th on Tuesday. And I'm back. Oh, God. I'm back 2 weeks from then. So it's the 24th. You're going to miss my birthday and everything, guys. You'll have to sing to me tonight. It's my birthday on the 30th. You're gonna miss my birthday. So why not? Monday they'll be here. Monday evening, I believe. I think, well, it's supposed to be Monday evening, but I don't know if they'll leave in the afternoon. I'm not too sure, but I think they were looking at coming in the evening again. So yeah, so it's very exciting stuff. But if anyone can tell me what day it will be 2 weeks Tuesday, I'd appreciate that, because I can't tell you when I'm back otherwise. Can't even count. Well, I suppose there's only 30 days in June, isn't there? So if we do 6 minus 14, be the 8th of July, will it be? 9th of July. Excellent. I was close. Check me out. Thank you, Phil. That's when I'll be back. 8th. There we go. See, I was right. I was actually right. Check me out. But yes, that's when I'll be back on Tuesday the 8th. I'm so excited. You can see I'm really hyped up because I feel the end of the week coming. Very excited. Seriously, that could get us all in trouble, especially with adult banter. Yes, she might be like, what? Say it again? What did that mean? Tiffany will be hearing words out of her mouth and she'll be like, where have you heard that word? Who said that word to you? And you're like, it was you, Mum. Sorry. Mine do try. They do try. But to be honest, they're bored of me. So they don't really listen to my videos. They have no interest in it whatsoever. Yeah, my kid's more adults than us. She's very mature. She's very, very mature. But yeah, mine have got no interest in what I do. I think when I first started, it was a bit of a novelty. But then that was it. This is just an inconvenience to my kids. Because obviously they have to leave the room. And they have to end their nights earlier. So it's just an inconvenience to them. And the fact that I've done 3 this week, yeah. Not happy about it. Not happy about it at all. I had complaints. But it's what can I do? I say, complain away. I don't care. Don't fool yourself, Jess. Check your son's phone. Oh, for what he watches or for watching me. Well, you see, Warwick, I am, you've just bollocked her again. Warwick, I'm a bit of a freak of a mom. And all their phones are connected, all their devices are connected to moi. I can see in real time what they're doing. They know, because they found the app at the back of their phones. Well, my son did. He's very clever. He was at the back and he was like, Mum, there's an app on my phone. I haven't seen it before. And it was me watching them. But they hand over their devices every evening. And Mummy has a glance through. And yeah, you're right. The stuff could be deleted. But to be honest, they're good kids at the minute. I know I've got it coming. I'm not ridiculously naive. I know I've got it coming. But at this moment in time, they're good kids. They're good kids. He done, and he you know, even today, he done fantastic on his maths exam. He had a maths test, not exam. He had a test, and he did fantastic. The teacher's actually going to phone me about it to tell me how good my son is. So, you know, I can't grumble. They're very good kids. But yes, I'm too controlling for anything to be going on under my nose. She was looking for a hubby. Well, I owe her an unreserved apology. Yes, you do. You do. She was looking for you the other night. Yes, she was. I think she was quite disappointed, Phil. So I think she'll be in soon. She normally normally comes in once I've started, doesn't she? I wonder if it's after her Mackies or something. I wonder if that's what it is. She has a Mackies on a Tuesday and Thursday, and that's when she comes in. Because it always tends to be about the same time, doesn't it? But I am going to start in a second because I have been waiting for her, but I do have to start. Oh, I wasn't being I was joking. I mean, oh God, does that sound really bad? I wasn't being mean. I was being quite serious. Bless her. But I think she'll be in soon anyway. So even when I'm not meaning to be mean, it comes out. Look how brown the arm is. Check it out, guys. Look at that. That's where it's swollen. That's the swelling there. But have my needle tomorrow, guys. All the lump will be gone. Look at the size of it. Look at that. Look at the size of it now. It's just ridiculous. So I'm hoping by this time tomorrow night, it'll all be folded back, not folded, back where it's supposed to be. Or back in. That's what I'm hoping anyway. It's like a hernia on my arm. You are brown, sis. I am. I'm like a goddess. Why is your elbow so high? She's just finishing her McFlurry. Yeah, she is. I do think that that's what's going on. And I weren't even trying to be mean. I think that's what's happening. Maybe. I could be wrong. She doesn't say, does she? She doesn't say, so just having a guess. Why is my elbow so high? Because that's where it is. That's where it is. She's putting a cheeky face. I don't know. I don't know why it's so high. I don't know. Did I miss the joke? Or was you just trying to be funny and it just was lost on me? It normally is. Tiffany. Oh, shoot. See, I was on it. See. Yeah, you're right there, Warwick. That's exactly what's going on. That's why she's so quick. Because it's just, that's exactly what's going on. Can't repeat it, but yes, it is. What am I looking at? What was I going to say? Tiffany, that's awful. That's so mean. She's going to say it, you know. She's going to say it. She's going to be like, but I'm 25. Oh, you haven't? Oh, God. We've all had it then when she does. Or she'll just go quiet. See, you get one or the other. You get nothing at all, zero. Or you get, like, ripped to pieces. There's no in between. There's no happy medium there. So, you'll know if she goes quiet, that's why. Right, I'm going to start because I've waited. I've waited long enough and it's... Yeah, I'm going to finish this spate of stories off with an absolute heartbreaking. That's exactly what it's called. I do know you so well. It is absolutely heartbreaking. It's I believe this will get even the hardest of hearts, this one. And it was because what I was mentioning. Actually, I'll do my intro and then I'll do my thingy about the story. Okay, I'm going to start, guys. So I'm going to leave you to it and I'm going to begin. So, what was that? I don't even know what that was. That wasn't even a start. Well, this is a good beginning, isn't it? Right, let's go. Just picked up half an ounce. Just for to know it, yeah. Do you for a couple of hours? Oh, did you? Yeah. Yeah, because she'll see it. She'll see it, and she's harmless. She's really sweet, bless her. Are you away with the fairies? She's not, but she will be. She will be. And Warwick will be away with the fairies, gnomes, and goblins with that amount. But anyway, I'm getting involved in the chat again. Let's begin. Let's go, okay? So, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. It's True Crime with Jess Rose. I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Tuesdays are my request evening. Thursdays stories that I like to bring to you. I'm also over on the TikTok, which is JessRose5472. Or you could join my Patreon, which is patreon.com/JessRose5472. Or you could subscribe. It'd be amazing. Or you could just watch. Just watch. That'd be great. That'd be great. That'll be just as good. So, story tonight. It's called The Heartbreaking Nixzmary Brown Story. And it really is. It really is. I've done some horrific stories lately. I genuinely have. But this goes back to a comment that I made probably 2 or 3 stories ago about what's going on. What went on in the 90s in New York. It was like there was just a spate of these child abuse cases that just, it was like child services just couldn't get their act together. And tonight's story is no different, but it's not the 90s. We're into the 2000s in this story. You know, you had Lisa Steinberg back from in 87. I've covered her story. We've got Nadine Lockwood, Eliza Escardo. Now, I haven't done those 2 stories, but they are also from the 90s in New York, and it just seems like there there was just something going on with the child services. It was just, I don't know what it was. But I can't just say it was New York. I think it just seems that way. But I think you can see the stories I've done since I started this channel, and it spans so many decades, different continents. It just seems there are evil people out there that just seem to target the most innocent amongst us. And I just, as I've said before, I can't wait until I don't have any of these stories to do anymore. It'd be really lovely. But like I say, it's the heartbreaking Nixzmary Brown story, okay? Now, we'll start with her mum. Her name is Nixzmary Santiago, okay? Now, Nixzmary, okay, she was brought up in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico? Pronounce that right, haven't I? Came over to America, and she actually has her first child while she's still a teen. She's quite young, okay? Now, the first child, she broke up with his dad, all right? Now, I know he's a boy. I know a couple of the siblings' names. I'm not going to bring them up. I don't need to for the story, okay? So, but she has got an older brother. But Nixzmary didn't stay with his dad. All right. Then she gets with a man called Abdurrahman. Abdurrahman. My goodness, Abdurrahman. And his name's Moyan. His surname's Moyan. Okay. Now she meets this guy. This is in New York. I believe it's Brooklyn. And her and her mum were looking at a street fight, or her aunt, it might have been her aunt actually, were looking at a street fight, and he took that as his sort of in to go over and talk to them. And he got chatting to Nixzmary, and they got on, and quite quickly they're in a relationship. But within 6 months she gets pregnant, okay? Now, he doesn't want a child at all, and he does kind of push for her to get rid of this baby, and she doesn't want to get rid of this baby at all. So she leaves her mum's, and she goes to sort of like a hostel where no one knows where she is. Pretty soon after that, she leaves and she goes to Connecticut, and there she has little Nixzmary, okay? Now, little Nixzmary, beautiful little baby, really is a gorgeous little child, okay? Now, as I said, she left Abdurrahman because he didn't want a child, so she just sort of disappeared on him. And while in Connecticut, she meets a man. Now, I've seen this man's name. I've seen two names for this man. I've seen Edward and Michael. Now, I'm going to say Michael because that's the name I've seen. Now, I don't know, is he using a middle name? It doesn't say. I've looked. But there's two names being used for him. I'm going to use Michael. All right. So she meets and marries a man by the name of Michael Brown. All right. And of course, she comes in tow with these two little children from two other men, and he doesn't care, and he gives them his last name. I don't know about Nixzmary's older brother, but he certainly gives Nixzmary his surname, hence the reason her surname is Nixzmary Brown. Okay, now the two of them get married and they go on to have two children together. So now Nixzmary has 4 children. Okay, so it's okay for a few years, and he loves Nixzmary. He does, and he treats her as his own. And it's all great for a good few years. It's good for, you know, up until Nixzmary's 5, and then they break up. Okay, so Nixzmary, with her 4 kids, comes back to New York, all right, Brooklyn. And while she's there, this is when she meets Caesar. Now, I've heard, I'm going to pronounce his name Caesar, but I've heard his name pronounced Cesar. Maybe that, because it has got an apostrophe on the top, is it Cesar? Caesar. I'm going to say Caesar Rodriguez, okay? Now, this man is known for having a really, really, really bad temper. This man, he really is, all right? Now, they would go on to have 2 kids together. So, at the point of the story we're going to get to eventually, there will be 6 children, 4 different dads, 3 boys and 3 girls, meaning Nixzmary, who is the second oldest of her siblings, has 3 brothers and 2 sisters. The reason I'm spreading it out like that is I found myself getting very confused today. So I've actually spread it out. But bar saying siblings, I'm not going to mention them too much more now. Okay, I just wanted you to know, because Nixzmary adored her siblings. She did, especially the younger one. She really did. You know, she loved nothing more than spending time with them. And now we're going to come up to 2004 when Nixzmary is about 6. Okay? And there's a photo of her. She's got an absolutely beautiful smile. She looks older than 6. I will say that in 2004. She does look older than 6. And I suppose behind that smile you'll realise why. But she's a beautiful little girl. She really is. And it was said that she was outgoing. She loved animals, especially her little cat. She loved her siblings. She loved playing. She loved her friends. Now, it was said by her aunt, it was said that she really wanted to learn English, because at home they all spoke Spanish, and she wanted to be able to converse with her school friends. So she had a friend called Janelle, and Janelle would teach Nixzmary English, and she'd do a little tests and things like that. She really did pick it up really well. And her aunt said, no matter what was in front of her, she'd pick it up and she'd try and read it in English. She was so determined, to be able to I can imagine it being really hard being in a school, not speaking the same as the other kids, the same language, and it would be really, really hard, really hard. So it says something about this little girl, that rather than just thinking, oh, well, I can't, she really tries, and, and she does really well. She really does. And she just wanted to communicate with her friends, basically. That's what it was, okay? Now, it was still in 2004. And like I say, though, behind that happy exterior, all right, there was a little girl whose home life was anything but happy. Anything but happy. Now, remember, she'd had, although he wasn't her biological dad, she'd had Michael Brown in her life, who had doted on his own 2, her older brother and her. And, she began her life really, really, and the photos do look like she's genuinely happy, that her really early photos, but the later ones, in one of them, she is smiling. It's Halloween, and she's dressed up as like a superhero, or a Power Ranger, I think. But you can just see there's something behind the eyes, that the smile doesn't quite reach her eyes, and I've said that before. Now, there was a first abuse allegation in May of 2004, all right? It was when the first allegation was brought forward, but apparently there was no proof. There was no proof of this, of it being abuse. Now, we then get to the second abuse allegation, which is December of 04, okay? Now, what it was, she comes to school with a black eye, all right? She's also got a cut on her forehead, all right? Now, one of her siblings says, oh, she hit it on some wood. It was on some wood. But another sibling said, no, I think it's Caesar. I think it was either Caesar or her mum. But because that sibling, when pushed, wouldn't say anymore, they were like, don't know about this. But this young girl's hurt. She's really hurt. So the social worker at the school, a woman by the name of Margarita, okay, she'd been getting more and more concerned about Nixzmary anyway. Because remember I said she was, I've heard the word vivacious, outgoing, you know, a really sweet little girl. She'd noticed not only had she been becoming more and more reserved and quiet, but she was getting thinner. The bruises, the black eye and the cut on her head weren't the first bruises that Margarita had seen on this child. And she was starting to get really, really concerned. And she made the report to Child Services and she begged them to remove Nixzmary from the home. She knew she was being hurt. She knew it was going to get bad. And she even went round there herself. And she was stopped by Caesar at the front door. And he was like, look, no one's here and I'm on my way out. So she didn't get past the front door. Her other concern was the amount of time that Nixzmary was missing from school. She was missing an awful lot of time. You know, 40 odd days at this point. Another sewing, you know, and she just begged them. She begged them to get that child out of the home. She did, okay? Now, on the 16th of May 2005, all right, little Nixzmary is age 6. The guidance counsellor then calls the child abuse hotline. So there's so many people calling Child Services again. Here we are again. About all the bruises she keeps seeing on Nixzmary. And the amount of, like I say, the time that was being missed from school. All right. Now, what they did is rather than investigating it anymore, they accepted what Nixzmary was saying, that she'd be back at school soon. Oh, God. Right. And they just took her word for it. All right. But at home, Nixzmary was going through hell. Okay. She was going through utter hell. And she really was. She really was. She was being beaten on a regular basis. Okay. Now, all the kids in the house feared his temper. All of them did. You know, he could make them all duck. He had a very bad temper. I think he was quite handsy with Nixzmary as well. I think he was, you know, he was quite handy with her. But he'd save, you know, his special time for Nixzmary. You know, she got the special end of his wrath. You know, she just seemed to get it worse and a lot more often. And while this was going on, Nixzmary just would sit back and let it happen. Now, let's remember, if we go back to Abdulrahman, who, you know, she'd been in the relationship with when she'd caught pregnant for Nixzmary. He didn't want a daughter. Well, he didn't want a child. And she fought, she finished that relationship and she left. She obviously wanted this child. And now she's watching a man just destroy this little girl in front of her and she does nothing to help her. Okay. So in December of 05, All the kids got Christmas presents. All of them. Except Nixzmary. She didn't get anything. She didn't get anything for Christmas. What? I can't imagine what she must have been thinking. Was she blaming herself? Was I don't know. God knows what this little girl must have been thinking. Why me? And also, as with a lot of our stories, she wasn't being fed. So not only is she seeing her siblings getting their Christmas presents, she's watching them get fed like you would normally do with your children. You know, you do have to feed them. And she'd have been seeing that, and she'd have been thinking, why am I being singled out? She's still a baby. And she must have been so confused. She really must have been. Now, Nixzmary didn't have a nice warm bed either, you know, to sleep at night after she'd been beaten and going to bed with no food. But she didn't have a nice warm bed like the other kids had. She was locked in a room, in just a rat-infested spare room in the apartment, okay? And it was tied with like a white rope type thing, and it was one of those door handles that turn, and it was tied. I don't know what it was tied to. I don't know if it was attached to the bathroom. I don't know what it was attached to, but she couldn't get out. She was locked in that bedroom, and all that was in this bedroom was a dirty mattress on the floor, a broken radiator, and an old style school chair. Now, when I say old style school chair, it's the one with the wooden seat and the wooden back, but with a gap in between, so it's metal frame, and then you've got a sort of a round wooden seat and a round wooden frame at the back. That was in the room, and she'd be tied to that quite regularly. Not just by Caesar. No, Mummy Dearest. Mummy Dearest would take part in tying her to that chair with duct tape, rope, zip ties, whatever they could, bungee cords, whatever they could find. She'd be tied to that chair. And she wasn't allowed to use the bathroom, even when she wasn't tied to it. She wasn't allowed to go and use the toilet like everyone else in the apartment. She had to go to the toilet in her cat's litter box. That was her bathroom. That was her toilet. And that's all there was in this bedroom. That's where she was kept for hours, sometimes days. Not being fed, not being loved. Not a kind word. And then we get to the 11th of January 2006. She's age 7 at this point, okay? And Caesar, he notices his printer's broken. Okay? His printer's broken. And his temper flies because his printer's broken. And he interrogates all the kids. Well, of course, who's he going to blame? It's Nixzmary. Now, I have seen on some sources that it was one of the kids that said it was her. You know, it was said on another source that he just zoned in on her. I'd more go with that. But even if it was one of the little kids, they were probably thinking, God, I don't want to get it. You know, it's a child. They're thinking of self-preservation at that point. And she was beaten mercilessly over this printer. But then he notices there's a whole yogurt has been taken out of the fridge. And he's like, who's taken that yogurt? And it was Nixzmary's. Now, when I mentioned it was one of the kids that said she'd broken the printer, you can excuse that. But Nixzmary's, her mum She was like, she took the yogurt. It was her. She'd already been beaten. This is pretty much all in the same time frame. And she could, I mean, take a rap yourself, for goodness sake. Or better still, why not get your kids out there? But no, it was her. It was her. She did it. Wow, this sent him into a really real livid rage now. He's gone beyond where he can pull it back now. So he was punching her full force. It was said full force in the face, all over. Grown man. And then he began beating her. He took off his belt then, and I've seen the belt. It's thick black leather belt. And he began beating her with that. And he was saying, while he was beating her, he was saying, this is for your own good. What am I going to do with you? Now, I've no doubt he weren't saying it like I am. He was probably screaming at her. But that's what he was saying. And she screamed for Nixzmary. You know, Mom. She screamed for us to help her. She didn't. How many stories am I going to do where these mums are just sitting back and watching this go on as discipline? And then he wasn't done. He then strips her. He strips her and he brings her into the bathroom. And he runs cold water into the bath. And then he begins dunking her head under the water over and over. And she's still, as she's being brought up, screaming for her mum to help her. And don't forget, they're in a different room. The kids and Nixzmary are in a different room because she's not there to help her daughter. So she's in a different room. And they said all they could hear was this screaming and this banging in there. And then they hear an almighty bang. And what that was, as he slammed her head into the bathtub. And she falls to the floor. And he picks her up. But down to nothing. I don't think she had much on. Wet, emaciated, and beaten. And picks her up and brings her into that rat-infested hole of a room they've been keeping her in, and just throws her onto the floor. Okay. And it said she lay in the fetal position in agony. She would have been agony. And she was moaning. And she was calling for her mum. And she just kept on saying, Mummy, don't leave me. And she still didn't go to her. She still didn't help her. And so on the 12th of January 2006 at 4:30 a.m. Okay. Oh, and just as an FYI, this was the date. Now, it was supposed to be the 11th of January 2006 that CPS Child Services was supposed to go round to the house. But for one reason or another, they decided to leave it until the 12th. Had they gone on the 11th, they might have saved this little girl. I don't know, but they might have. So, the 12th of January 2006, 4:30 a.m. And Nixzmary, I don't know why she's bothered, but she goes in to check on Nixzmary. And she finds her face up and cold and broken. She had died in agony alone on that rotten so-called bedroom floor. And 911 are called. Never get this, how they think they're just going to be able to, no one's going to notice, no one's going to see. And when the paramedics come in, they're mortified. they're so upset. They're so upset at what they see. They see this little half-naked, emaciated child on the floor with bruises head to toe, abrasions, contusions, all over her. There's ligature marks around her wrists and her ankles as well that aren't lost on the paramedics. They see that as well. And this is from where she's been wrapped, tied to the school chair. I've seen the ligature marks. I've seen the photos. They're horrific. They're... Now, when Nixzmary is brought in and the pathologist obviously performs the autopsy, said that the cause of death was blunt force trauma to the head, and it was a hemorrhage. And it said that the pain she would have been in while she was lying on that floor would have been from headache to nausea to hallucination to respiratory problems, and then she would have died. That would have took hours. I've gone very quick through that process. That would have took hours. She was 7. And the pathologist said it was, the cause of death was blunt force trauma to the head and child abuse syndrome. Okay. At her death, she weighed 36 pounds, 2.5 stone. She was 7. Average 7-year-olds is about 50 pound. She was 36 pound. The real one, when the pathologist done obviously the autopsy, also found signs that this little girl had been raped. Not once, numerous. There was, with regards to the police when they were in the apartment and they were getting evidence and everything else. Sorry, I fast-tracked there. Nixzmary and Caesar are arrested and charged straight away with second-degree murder and child endangerment, okay? So when they're in the apartment, the police, and they're getting their evidence together, they find blood all over the walls, all over that apartment, which was found to obviously be Nixzmary's. Everywhere, okay? There was blood found under Caesar's fingernails, on his belt. There was blood on the twine, sorry, it was called twine, that was used to tie the door, to tie her to the school chair. There was duct tape with blood all over it that was found in the bin, in the bedroom, that she'd also been restrained with. There was blood on a little girl's pillow, on a blanket, on a little girl's plastic belt. There was blood in the litter box that she'd been using as a toilet. There's blood everywhere. All this child's blood. Now, when she was buried, little Nixzmary, okay, there is a photo. These photos are online. Do I suggest you look for them? No, not really. You can, but there is an open casket at her funeral. She's in her little communion dress. She looks beautiful. She looks at peace. She does. Now you see the coffin. You see her with a little communion dress on. She's got hundreds of flowers surrounding her, but the emotions at her funeral was so high. I mean, one of Caesar's sisters turned up to the funeral, and you know, there was 2 sides of the families. You know, it was bedlam, you know, and there was, I don't think it actually got physical there, but it was said that it was very close, just mere feet from where this little girl's lying. It was really, the emotions were very high. Now, Mayor Michael Bloomberg, who was mayor of New York at the time, he attended her funeral because he, again, wanted to know what had gone on and what, what's this happened and changes will be made. As I always say, okay, as we always know is going to be said. All right. Now, little Nixzmary was buried at Cypress Hill Cemetery, and that was exactly where 10 years previous, little Eliza Iscardo, who died under very, very similar circumstances, had died 10 years previous. She was also buried there. Just so sad. The photo of her, it's very upsetting because she genuinely does look like she's asleep. She does. So the trial for these two crossings begins on the 16th of January 2008. Okay. Now, Caesar's defence, defence attorney, Schwartz, his name was, cretin as well, vile, tried to blame a lot of it on Nixzmary herself. How can you do that, you ask? Well, I will tell you. He'd say she used to bully her siblings. And he said, you're seeing this man here, and we're talking about this little 7-year-old who was 36 pounds, but, she would have been much bigger than her siblings who she was bullying. What? And then the yogurt, I personally believe she was given that yogurt. I don't think she'd have, given everything that had been going on, I don't think she went and took that yogurt. I don't. But it was found in her room. Okay, that it was only half eaten. Okay, it was in her room. And he said some people can't afford yogurt. It might seem it was only yogurt, but there was 6 children in that house, and some people can't afford yogurt. And this man was just trying to make sure everyone got what was theirs, and that yogurt wasn't hers. This is a defence lawyer. Sorry, a lawyer. And I know you have to defend your client, but my God. He said she was out of control, and he was a family man. Brought out a mug where it said "World's Best Dad." Someone that God knows who gave him. And he just said he was a strict disciplinarian. I understand that, but actually, it was all Nixzmary's. It was her. It was her that did it. She did the final blow that killed Nixzmary. Okay, so the whole trials were both lawyers blaming each other's clients. It was a from what I can see, it was a circus. It was a complete show. Okay, and now Caesar's defense even brought forward, okay, Nixzmary had been pregnant, okay, and she'd miscarried, all right, and she'd kept the fetus in a glass jar in her bedroom. I don't know what that's about. But she'd kept it in her bedroom. And that was brought forward by Caesar's defence to say, listen, look, she's crazy. She's crazy. Look what she did. Look what she was doing. Look what she was holding on to. This is the stuff that was brought forward. But there was someone else that came forward, and it was a witness who had been in Rikers Island with Nixzmary. Okay, I've heard that this witness was told this by Nixzmary, and I've heard that she read it in some journals or some notes that Nixzmary had made. But this witness comes forward and speaks on behalf of Caesar's attorney, Caesar's defence. And it was to say that Nixzmary had beaten her daughter because she'd caught not Caesar forcing her child to give him oral sex. No. She'd caught her daughter giving her man oral sex on more than one occasion. She'd saw her daughter as competition. She was 7 years old and she was being abused in every way, emotionally, physically, sexually. This girl, and that was your mind frame. Now, this is what came forward. Of course, Nixzmary said, no, that didn't happen. I didn't write that down. But, you know, we do know that Nixzmary was, she was raped. So, is it a far stretch that he was making her do that too? Now, if she caught, I mean, I haven't seen anything definitive to say that she did. She did walk in on a few occasions as well. But given the torture this child was being put through, not just from him, it wasn't just him. Nixzmary was handy with Nixzmary too. She'd actually given her a black eye. She'd given her own daughter a black eye over this time period. So it's not a far stretch to think that this did happen, okay? And it was also said that she would call Nixzmary Diablo, which is devil in Spanish. And both sides just carried on blaming each other. It's just back and forth, okay? Now, the pictures from the apartment and the autopsy was shown to the jury. I have seen a couple of them myself. There's a huge bruise on this little girl's neck. You know, it covers her entire back of the neck. It's black. There's obviously marks on her ankles that, as I mentioned, I'd seen from her being tied very, very deep. Bruises on her face and two huge black eyes. And she was so skinny. The photos that you saw, you can see online over at the Halloween, and there's another one, is nothing compared to the state she's in this autopsy photo. Nothing. She looks like a different child. You see pictures of the twine on the lock, and you know the chairs brought in to the trial as well. Awful looking chair, just vile. And then they show that on the 9th of January 2006, so 3 days before she died, the CCTV that shows Caesar, Nixzmary, and the other kids shopping at Target, and they're buying toys, slime and what, them little cars, them little Hot Wheels cars, and sweets at Target 3 days before she died, which means she was at home, probably beaten. She'd been beaten for a long time. And it just, all it shows is that she wasn't with them. But given the damage to this child, it was obvious that that's why they'd left her at home. Or they just didn't, would they have brought her out anyway? Now, on the 18th of March 2008, Caesar is found guilty. His sentence was 29 years. On the 12th of November 2008, Nixzmary is also found guilty. She's given 43 years. She had extra charges for, it was classed as the tying her, because it was said that it was her that was tying her to the chair. Now, she did appeal it, and it did get reduced to 33 years to 36 years. That's 10 years off. So, now the judge at the trial, I'll tell you what the judge said to her. And he says, you may not have delivered the final blow, but were it not for your failure to act, Nixzmary Brown would probably not have died from that blow. She gasped for air, moaning, and called for you twice until she died. You, Mrs. Santiago, ignored the desperate calls and left this little 7-year-old alone, and you did nothing. And she had no response. None. No response. No tears. No nothing in that courtroom. There was nothing from her. Of course, you know, changes are made, and you know, some of the child services agents that were coming out or were supposed to come out, they were disciplined. Apparently there was 10 of them all involved, got disciplined and everything else. We know it doesn't change anything. You know, I could go into, there's so many details about what they wanted to do, and I believe there was a law brought in. Actually, yes, there was a law brought in called Nixzmary's Law. I will mention that. That ensured that if a child dies at the hands of a parent, it will be an automatic first-degree murder charge instead of this second-degree. So that does get brought in, and I think it automatic life sentence, I believe. But other than that, it's something I've said 1,000 times on these stories. Now, there was something else that really didn't sit right with me. Nixzmary's biological dad, okay, Abdurrahman Mian, okay, sorry. But Abdurrahman Mian, okay. Now, if you remember, he did not want Nixzmary to continue with the pregnancy, okay. He didn't want to. He didn't want a child, right? To the point where she left so she could go on to have Nixzmary, all right? And the first time he actually sees his daughter is at her funeral, right? That's the first time he sees her. Now, Michael Brown, who had brought her up for more years than Caesar and this so-called biological dad had anything to do with her, he was just devastated. He was disgusted at child services. He laid the blame 100% at them, which, yes, had they gone and sorted this, yes, this wouldn't have happened, but let's remember who did it. But I understand his frustration, his anger. But this biological dad, who, like I say, hadn't seen her until the day of her funeral, he was awarded $750,000 for damages for ACS, the child services not protecting her. He got awarded that money. I was a bit like, when I saw that, I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that. So I'm just going to mention it because that's what I found out. But I don't know how I feel about that bit at all. But that was the heartbreaking Nixzmary Brown story. Just awful. Just very, very sad story. Really sad. Beyond sad, just awful. And like I say, if you do look at the photos I have prepared you, they are awful. Okay? But thank you so much for joining me. I am here every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. I was going to say, yes, I'm not here now for 2 weeks. And I'll be back on the 8th of July. Tuesday the 8th of July. So that's when I'll be back. But there will be stories going up on my pre-recorded videos from the lives at the weekends. So I will try and make sure that a couple of those do go up. But thank you so much for joining me. And if you want to subscribe, I'd appreciate it. But other than that, thank you so much for joining. Take care. Thank you. How are we? How are we? Oh, thank you. Oh, I've missed all of this. It had completely wiped all the chat off, so I didn't see any of it. I thought you had stopped chatting. I did. I couldn't see anything on there. So it just stopped coming up, so I don't know what happened there, but how are we all after that one? Just awful, wasn't it? Just, oh, God. I run out of words. I run out of words to say. I really do. I don't know how you can, I don't know what you say. Thank you, Phil. Thank you so much. Thank you. I just never know. It's just words, isn't it? Oh, that was awful and it's heartbreaking and everything. It's just words, but it's really so sad. Oh, thank you, lovely. I wasn't saying that to you. I was saying that to my other one. I haven't said bye to you. I wasn't saying bye to yous. Why are you telling me to have a good holiday? Well, you can. It's very nice to tell me have a good holiday. But I hadn't said bye to you. I wasn't talking to yous. But it's all okay anyway. Just very... But that was one you'd asked for, Jessica. Had heard for it, and I know you've got a few more, but I thought you had been asking for stories, so I thought you could have the last one before I break up. It keeps going off. It's driving me crazy. But are we all okay in there? Have we all been okay? Have we all been playing nicely? I did see Jess. Oh, guys, I didn't even see Kelly. Hi, Kelly. I didn't see you there as well. And Jessica, everyone's in. Neither are responsible for anything. They should have got the death penalty. I agree. Oh, thank you, Phil. I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited. I am. I'm just hoping that my my face doesn't all swell up again. That's why I've been trying to get some sun. I've been trying to prepare my face and my back. But look how brown my arms are. Look at that, guys. Look how it just doesn't show it on camera, but I'm so brown. I'm very brown. It's really brown now. Sorry, my God, I actually did it before. But the money should have. I agree. That's what I mean. He, of all the people, that's what I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to say about that because it was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about it. I really don't. But I don't know what he did with the money. So I probably shouldn't judge just yet because he could have put it into a charity. He could have put it into anything. So I don't know where that money was spent. So, but it just left a bit of a bad taste in my mouth when I found out it was him who'd got that money. I was just a bit like, oh, I don't know how I feel about that. But I don't know the full details of it, so I'll reserve my judgment. But, yeah, God, that went down the wrong way. But, so what are we all doing the weekend then, guys? Or have you already had that discussion? We know Phil's working. So what are we all doing? I mean, because it's going to be beautiful. So what are we doing in this nice weather? We got any plans? Put it in a crap pot. Oh, you don't know that, Warwick. We don't know that, though. Are you just going to enjoy the sun, Tiffany? Are you just gonna lap up the rays? Well, I'll judge because he didn't bother to show it for it, so she's dead. Well, I'll let you do that then, Jessica. Do you know what? Yeah. They're where I was, but obviously I can't say, can I? But yeah, you can say it for me. There we go. I'll agree with you. But yeah, because I don't know, I don't want to just go all guns blazing. I know what my opinion is though. I'll just keep it to myself. I'll keep it to myself. Unless I was to hear. But yeah. I just didn't. We are broke after last week. Fantasy Island took your money. I have heard. I've heard it's like that though. I've heard it's really expensive. I do want to go. I would like to go. Although I like the fairs in Skegness. I like your smaller fairs. I like them. I enjoy them. I've been there a couple of years now and I really enjoy them. And my kids aren't big enough to go on the big ride yet, so it's just perfect for them. And they're not exactly, one's more of a daredevil than the other one. 60 for 2 wristbands. Stop it. You could have gone to the safari park for cheaper than that. I'm not trying to be lame. Yeah. No, you've every right to say that, Jessica. You're not even being mean. You've every right to say it. My God, 64 for 2 wristbands. That's ridiculous. And does it matter what age? Is that like kid rates? You'll have to sell some more big girl pants then, Tiff. Why has she been selling them? Is that how you've been earning your money? Sorry. I had a thought then and I've just managed to stop my mouth saying it. I'm getting good at this. I'm getting good at pulling myself back. I feel like I did it last night as well. Pull myself back before I say anything that I can't pull back. God, the hair, it's just been stuck to my head today, hasn't it? It's just got a whole geeky thing going on. No, it's for the Discovery. Right, I should bloody think so for that. I should think you should get on everything for that, but still. So it doesn't matter if they're children or adults, that's just the price it is for that. That's mental, though. I'm worried it's not going to let me live down the Mickey D's anytime. Did you have a Mackey's today, then? Did you have one? We was wondering. Well, I was wondering. I did wonder. I was going to say, you probably don't even have them that often. She's like, she must be having a McDonald's. That's what's going on. She'll be back soon. Yes. Yes. What are you yesing me at? What did I ask again? Yes, he was making fat jokes and I told him I'm a chunk. I did. Do you know what? That's chicken nuggets. That was before it stopped showing any comments, and I did see him say, "Are you a bigger girl?" Something like that. I'm like, oh God, no, but it won't leave me alone about the one time I had it right. Okay, is that the only time you've mentioned it then? Oh, I thought you'd said it more than that. Oh, that's a shame. See, that's it. Once they get hold of something, Jessica, that's it. That's your name. Your name will just be Mackie's now. That's it. That's your nickname now because you said it once. Oh, that's quite funny. Oh, I thought you'd said it a few times. I did. Right, guys. I'm gonna let yous go. I am, because my elbow is very, very sore. I feel like I've been flashing my arm around a lot this evening. Haven't meant to, but I feel like I have. Is Kelly not here? Did you know? Every time I go to say hello to Kelly, she either comes in after I've started and then she's gone before the end. I don't think I've managed to say hello to her yet. Look, see, this is why I was going to go. It's starting again. Look at this. And it shows up more when my face is red. Look at the forehead. Come on, my stepfather give me a hard time about watching Hello Kitty once for a while. Oh, yeah, so that's all you... I had that once. Mine was Saved by the Bell. And then apparently that's all I watched. Yeah, she was. And she said she'll watch later. Oh, okay. Okay, fair enough. Oh, my God. Look at these. Look. Haven't even moved. Oh, my God. I was trying to get out before this happened. Look at it. It happened the other night as well when I was on. But I was doing the story, so there was nothing I could do about it. But look at this. It's just, this fan's pants as well. It's good in the winter, but in the summer, pants. We can't see what you can. Shh. No, you can. You can see it because I've watched it back. You can see it. There's a lot going on. You can see it. Phil reminds me of Scream. Why? Why? Well, didn't he turn into a porn star? What was his name? Dustin Diamond, was it? Was it something like that? Didn't he become a porn star at some point? I'm sure he did, you know. I think he's passed now. Or I've just made that up completely, but I'm sure, didn't he pass a few years ago? Like, comment, subscribe. Good night, everyone. He's had enough. No, that was me. Fair enough. Right, you remind me of my stepdad, hence why I have a soft spot for you. Ah, is that why? I was going to say, because you take it very well, Jessica. You do. Right, guys. As Phil said, he's moving us on. Look, you're going to see it now. Don't tell me to shush because I can see it. It's all here. Right, guys, thank you so much again. Thank you to Warwick and Phil and Tiffany. I don't know if Hayley's been in, but my moderators extraordinaires and Kelly and Jessica, whose story it was this evening. I don't know if I've seen Jilly or Natalie, but I'll say bye anyway. And I will see you all in 2 weeks. I'm very excited. I'm so excited, but I'm going to miss you all. And yeah, if you could, after the fact, if you could look, comment and subscribe, guys, please. Look, comment and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. The camera's going out of focus. I'm too close. Look, comment and subscribe, guys. I'd really appreciate it. Obviously, I'm going to put any of the lives that I haven't put up on the pre-recording. I'll put them up over that time as well. But yeah, I hope you have a great couple of weeks, guys. I hope the weather stays lovely for you all. And I will, yeah, I'll see you on the 8th. But thank you so much again. And yeah, take care. Dustin got pretty messed up and unfortunately since passed away. I thought he did. I thought he did. Hang on. See, he wouldn't come up. Look, I've been chatting away and I didn't know there was any comments. Warwick, okay, didn't he stab someone? No. Did he? Feel for a blind man, you were trying to still sing other people's jobs. Boy, is that your job to say that? Dustin got pretty messed up and unfortunately since passed away. Yeah. I got used to Warwick at the beginning. I wouldn't have taken it well without getting to know him and thought he was insensitive. Stepdad also helped with that. Warwick, are you trying to suggest carrying knives around with me? I'm off to Berlin. Oh, Warwick, are you going to see Chubby Eva? Are you going to see her? Is that where you're going? I'm so excited if you are. Are you going to see Chubby Eva? I'm so excited if that's where you're going. Oh, God, I've just hidden the chat again. Or are you trying to suggest I'll carry knives around with me? Is that another fat joke? Chubby Eva? No, his granddaughter. It's Chubby Eva. Why has there been a lot of fat jokes? In 2 weeks, so are you gone when I come back then? Is that what's going on? Oh, no. Oh, right, okay. Oh, okay, sorry. I was being slow, Tiffany. I'm sorry. I missed the fat joke, so I didn't know. I didn't know that was a thing. So I kind of walked into it. Right, I'm definitely going, though. So, Warwick, have a fantastic time seeing little Chubber. And the rest of you, I will see you in 2 weeks. And Tiffany, I'll speak to... Second week. Oh, okay. So I'll be back when you come back. Excellent. And Tiffany, I'll probably speak to you tomorrow. But yeah, okay then, guys. Thank you so much. And when I come back, I'm going to honestly look like a bronzed goddess. I'm going to be Aphrodite for real. you watch. You're not going to know yourself. You're not going to recognise me. I'm going to have to get a whole new load of makeup to go with the colour. Ah, thank you, Jessica. Thank you. I am definitely going now. I've been saying goodbye for the past 10 minutes. So, yes, and I'll see you all soon. Oh, God, say goodnight, Tiffany. Quickly. I hate cutting off when someone spoke to someone else. I don't like cutting off because it's rude. Say goodnight quickly. And I will, yes, I will see you all. I'm looking at my legs because I feel like my legs are a little bit brown too. There we go. Right, like, comment, subscribe, guys. And I'll see you in 2 weeks. Take care. Bye.